How's it going, Marvel fans? This is your boy Infamous, and today we're breaking down one of the most hyped trailers in the PlayStation Showcase, and that is going to be for Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac Games. This was an incredible trailer, and I want to break down everything that we saw together and making sure you have all the information that I could find. That being said, if you want to see more content like this in the future, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as I'm covering all kinds of superhero games here on the channel. And let's go ahead and dive in. Now the trailer kicks off after the logos with a empty street in Michael's Diner, which does not have any grand tie-in to anything I could find to the Marvel Universe, so we don't have to worry about that. As we continue, we can see that the traffic lamppost actually gets shocked with electricity, followed by someone getting thrown into the same exact pole. While this is happening, we can hear a narrator with a Russian accent, which instantly tells us that this character can be Kraven the Hunter, the known hunter and one of the most unique villains in Spider-Man's rogue gallery. But more on him in just a minute. We are then shown the Insomniac Spider-Man logo and the suit, which is followed by Peter Parker's Spider-Man, who is taking down an opponent with his brand new mechanical arms. One thing about the arms is they tend to glow in certain locations, which makes it quite interesting and possibly some kind of tie-in to Doc Ock. It should be noted, not only is Peter hitting the opponent, but the arms are as well. And then he leads into a burst attack, which has his arms explode and blow back the opponent also. Next up, we get a glimpse of Miles' suit. As it goes over to Miles, we can see the thug trying to take down Miles with a punch, and he actually gets countered with a Venom shock, as it looks like there could possibly be a brand new Venom counterattack on Miles' move list. After Miles pushes away the first thug, we can see another character come into play trying to attack Miles, and while doing so, the electricity changes from yellow to blue. What does that mean? Possibly new attacks. Then Miles proceeds to take down the opponent with a Venom shock, which the second thug is actually hit by the first thug, knocking them both over. Then we get a clean shot of Peter Parker Spider-Man alongside of Miles Spider-Man, which just looks incredible. Then we get a really nice shot of Miles and Peter taking down an opponent, showcasing a dual takedown, which for those who don't know is really reminiscent of Batman and Nightwing doing dual takedowns in Batman Arkham Knight. As the narrator continues, we actually have him talking about how he's disappointed while Peter and Miles are looking into an alley. As it continues looking down a dark alley, we hear a voice, a very iconic voice that is actually the voice of Venom, who says yes, answering the question of Kraven, which is followed by Venom also talking in the first person, which is very of his character, saying "we will," again answering Kraven's question. Then we get the money shot of Venom appearing in the shadows alongside the final logo of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which uniquely enough has a black background, most likely to represent Venom, and the potential of a black suit. Now quickly, I want to break down each character, starting off with Kraven. Now again, Kraven is not shown in this trailer, but he is doing the narration for the entire trailer, except for the last couple lines. So going through his dialogue, he actually says this: "For as long as I can remember, I have looked for an equal," which of course means Kraven is looking for someone to match him in his hunting ability and overall see if he can be beaten. He does a lot of his hunting for sport, and that's something that's always been consistent about his character. He goes on to say, "One that can push me, and it actually shows Peter," followed by "one that can surprise me, and actually shows Miles." So possibly in his eyes, he can think that Peter can push him and Miles can surprise him as he is a new Spider-Man. Then goes on to say "one that can beat me," and shows both Peter and Miles. Afterwards he says, "Yet all I found is disappointment, as most likely he hasn't found a match yet." Then he poses a question and says, "Will one of you give me what I desire?" because he desires that hunt, that chase, that game. Then it switches to Venom, who is actually voiced by Tony Todd, who is very well known for his character of Candyman and even voiced some roles in the CW Flash show, amongst many things. Venom goes on to say yes, answering Kraven's question and saying "we will," opposing that Kraven is going to be possibly facing Venom or hunting Venom at some point. To give us a little bit more on Kraven, most likely the thugs that the Spider-Men were facing is going to be Kraven's goons, just like the street thugs, the mafia, the underground for Miles Morales, Sable's team, and many other goon type characters. This is going to be the team following Kraven in the world of Spider-Man. Plus the iconic accent definitely gives it away, which I think is another way to help promote the future Kraven movie that Sony is producing. Really quickly, touching on Peter and Miles, it looks like as far as Peter, he's going to be using the mechanical arms a lot more as far as in his moveset, which is going to be something great to have because he needs something to follow up Miles, who could do all the cool things with his Venom. I honestly can't wait to see what those arms do. And as far as Miles, again, he does have a switch in color of his electricity, possibly meaning brand new counters and overall abilities for the Venom. And last but not least is going to be Venom, who looks like a brute Venom from the comics and the one that we know and love, and even has some close reminiscence of the Sony Venom character. Venom makes the most sense and was the most anticipated character for this game because of the ending of Marvel Spider-Man 1. And I want to say quick spoiler for anyone who does not know this information. Throughout the story of Spider-Man 1, we found out that Harry Osborn actually inherited his mother's Ashtorian syndrome and began to experience difficulties. Now, of course, this is something that MJ and Peter do not know, and overall Harry kept this a secret, pretending to be busy and hungover to get away from the sickness. Later we find out that Harry is in critical condition, and of course his father is trying to cure him the best way he can. You find out more information about this throughout the different journal entries and doing missions that Harry has for you throughout the game, but at the end of the story, you can see Harry is floating in stasis with his father trying to talk to him. And while inside this tank, you can see Harry is surrounded by some kind of black goop, which we know as the symbiote. The symbiote is possibly being used for a treatment to try to bring Harry back to consciousness and make sure he is healthy, but we will find out more in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Overall, there's a lot of things in this trailer to break down, but I feel like we got most of it. Kraven the Hunter is going to be one of the main villains of the game, which I cannot wait to see. Of course, I think there will be an interesting battle at some point of Miles and Peter going head to head because he may get the symbiote, and of course Venom making his grand debut in the Insomniac universe. But let me know, how excited are you guys for this game, and did I miss anything? And if I did, let me know in the comments down below, because this game is looking exciting and again was one of the most hyped trailers during the PlayStation Showcase. But if you did come to enjoy any of the video and want to know more information about this game, don't forget to leave a like on the video and share the video out while hitting the subscribe button. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Spider-Man hype is here. I'll see you guys next time, and thank you for watching.